So I'm in the Ganges again. The weather is sunny. This is clean. So I'm gonna try to do some yoga. It's always good to do yoga. It's always better to do than not to do yoga. Sometimes it's better not to do yoga. In this case, it's different. It's been a tough week of staying home, nursing my cold, and thinking about which direction I want to take in life now. And I'm thinking to go forward towards something new. We'll see. It's 12 o'clock on Friday. Shops closed down early, so I feel it as emergency. 24 hours storage was a little more expensive. It's time up. It's been expensive enough. Just thinking, what do you think? But this is too. I gave away some books, which is slowly cleaning up the apartment. And for anyone who's struggling with cleaning up apartments, always do it in baby steps. Don't try to do everything at once, because that's what I tried, and then I couldn't find my phone, I couldn't find things. Always just focus on one area. Problem is with me, it's like a domino effect. Once you start cleaning up one area, then you clean up more areas. I found the most important achievement is that I did find a lot of cockroach eggs, which is really like the equivalent of an abortion for cockroaches. I don't want to kill any animal, so I prefer to destroy the eggs before they're hatched. And there were a lot of them in the closet, the shoe closet. Trying to give away stuff. I definitely have too many shoes. But the problem is I can't find a pair of shoes, so you find one. So it's better to wait until you're absolutely sure you can't find the other one. And you know what? Murphy Law, as soon as you throw away the one shoe, you'll find the other one. It's weird, but it always works. So maybe you could pretend you're throwing away. So books, shoes, clothes. So I put it in a box like Moses, waiting for people to take the books. I only put away like 5 books. I should put much more. You really don't need books. In these days and the age, you have so many audiobooks, and books take up space. And when you live in a home, you need space. A small apartment, you need the storage space. So I definitely recommend giving away books that, unless they're like reference books, like yoga books. I have a lot of cookbooks I think that would be better served, because I don't really use cookbooks anymore. I really improvise. I make a lot of rice dishes, beans, rice, vegetarian protein substitute. So don't really need recipes, because they make my life more complicated sometimes, unless you're baking. So I did keep a lot of cake books. I like cakes. This one likes sweet things, but she can't have any. So I'm going to do the yoga as much as I can. Whatever you do is always good. In yoga, I mean. And I'm going to try to start a diary today. I used to have lots and lots of diaries. And the point of diaries is not that they take up space, because I do keep them. It's the fact that you put in paper all your thoughts, and it really helps organize your thoughts. And it helps unload. So I'm going to start doing one today. It's also first month of Kislev, which is a Hebrew month. Soon we have Hanukkah. I don't know what is up ahead, but I'm beginning to look at my feelings, examine them, take a step back, and not act upon them necessarily, which is easy when you don't have pressure. It's so much easier to be at home where you're safe and you don't have to confront people, than to be out there, and people can be triggers. Kids can be triggers, and you need to be aware of it and be very patient with yourself and others. I really thought I did a good job where I was working, and then I realized that you really cannot give people without teeth walnuts to crack, which means people who don't there are people that just don't appreciate you. Or there's another saying, you can't make a silk purse with the pig's ear. And as much as I love pigs, I just felt unappreciated because when you work with children in kindergarten and your staff is just against everything, you're doing yoga and then they hand out food and they don't coordinate with you. It is my problem that I wasn't organized enough. I admit. And you don't need a lot of organization. But I looked at it as a daycare position, and I hate organizing stuff. I like being spontaneous. With kids, you can't really be spontaneous. And I realized I learned my lesson. You need to have structured activities for them. You need to have a good balance. And I think I would have reached it had not. My patience just ran out of dealing with nonsense. And just hearing the kindergarten teacher come and complain, I should have been more assertive. I should have been not an open container. I should have set boundaries better. The problem when you work with little kids, your boundaries are really, compromised. With animals and children, you really need to work on limits. Because if you don't have limits, and staff, of course. So if people ask you personal questions you don't want to answer, don't answer. Don't hold grudges, just smile. Because it's better to not answer than to answer and feel that your boundaries have been compromised. I didn't really answer a lot, but I was too apologetic. As an American friend of mine that lived in New York said, apologizing and all that, and putting yourself beneath the other person doesn't go well in Israel. And that's true. There's a lot of ego here and toughness. And there's also good people and good stuff going on, but you need to really know that not everybody's your friend. Just remember that. Books are your friend, animals are your friend, but strangers you meet are not going to be necessarily your friends. So you really need to clarify boundaries for people that are not your friends. They're not your friend. You shouldn't answer personal questions. In Israel, it's like a plague. They ask you so many personal questions. And I get offended because I thought, what am I projecting to get this kind of attention? And it's not you, it's them. People that stick their nose in your business are not looking to help you. They're looking to get information out of you for gossip reasons or just to enjoy the fact and it's like reading a magazine about Princess Diana, may she rest in peace, or whatever celebrity. They're just looking to stick their nose because they don't have a life. People that have an interesting, fulfilling life do not stick their nose in other people's business. There's a difference between a hand outreached in friendship and a nose stuck in your business. The difference being is that people that want to be your friend, first of all, you have to have something in common with, common energies. You feel the vibes. You feel good vibes. That's friendship vibes. You're feeling like chess playing, like they're making a move some ways. That's not friendship. That's manipulation. Be careful. Sometimes those two get very quickly mixed up. And it's important to distinguish between the two. In my younger days, I really didn't distinguish that, especially with male attention. And now I realize there's the manipulative people, and then there's the friends, potential friends. But friendship is only friendship once it's put under tests. And those are tests of, do we have similar values? Do we speak in the same language? Does it mean Hebrew and English, of course? Do we have the same kind of thought patterns? Do we want the same things out of life? And do we have a similar capacity for being affectionate and kind? Because people that are not kind, they sometimes latch on to people that are nice, and they sort of like are emotional vampires. Be careful of those. There are a lot of them in education. There are a lot of them with working kids. They're just like empty, and they just drink your blood. And you feel it because after you have an interaction with them, you feel tired. And you feel like really tired. And kids don't kids don't make you tired, but what makes you tired with kids is a constant test of limits. That means you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, the kids are going to test your limits constantly. And I felt that I wasn't structured enough, that's for sure. And some kids don't need a lot of structure. You give them some drawing material and they'll be fine. But there are kids who need constant supervision. And for the sake of those kids, you need to have a plan. So I think I didn't take this work very seriously. Maybe I do need also to be in a more structured place. In a school, there's more structure. There's not so many gray areas like what to do. There's always, this is what you teach now. This is what you do now. So I'm going to try substituting maybe. And whatever doesn't feel right isn't right. Remember that. My mother used to say, though she gave me horrible mixed messages, she used to say, you don't run away from a good thing. And remember that. If you don't feel you want to be somewhere, there's a reason. There's a difference between a challenge that's worth investing in and a place that just is not good for you. I'm just thinking about all the time I took traveling. And I prefer maybe to wake up early in the morning again to have a rhythm. And you, girl, let me do my yoga. Oh, what is she doing? Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I like when the weather is colder. I really miss European weather. I can't even begin to say how much. Especially when you're sitting in a coffee shop, preferably Starbucks, enjoying your coffee, reading a newspaper, reading a good book, or talking with a friend, or talking on the phone, or writing something, or drawing. I miss those moments, but it was not a place where I evolved very well. I did not find my voice there. I felt like the opposite, that I didn't have a language, because in addition to English and Hebrew, German, Swiss German as well, 4 languages, and I was getting really lost. And I think you have fleas. Oh God, please do not have fleas. This might be a flea. Oh my God. If we have a flea, we have an expense here. The thing with that animals is that, are you friends with your fleas? You don't want them? I don't know if she has a lot of fleas. I don't think she has. Maybe it was dirt. Maybe it was just a one-off, but usually fleas come in groups. This is the cutest little Puffy Muffy. So, I really recommend dogs, I told the guard, I was talking to the guard at the kindergarten, why don't you have a dog? And he said, added expense. I mean, come on, how can you say no to such a thing? How much food can this animal eat? And however poor you can be, well, it's different if you have children and you earn minimum wage. I can understand that perhaps. But yeah, I mean, come on. Something like this or this. It's adorable. Adorable. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Enjoy your Shabbat in your own way, which is definitely what I'm emancipated from a very rigid religion, and I'm going to do it my way. And I suggest that everybody do it your way. Try not to clash with people. Take it small steps. You can learn from animals. Approach with caution. Don't jump in a river. Don't expose yourself. And don't divulge too much information, because you never know what what someone can do with this information, what people want to do. But if you suspect people are manipulative, you suspect they have ulterior motives, you're probably right. Trust your instincts. And stay away from people that are out there to make fun of you, to mock you, to feel better because they feel like they have all this information on you. And to be honest, I don't really want to know too much information about co-workers. I'm not curious because I prefer to read a good book than to know information that I can't do anything with. That, what is it going to be used for gossip? I'm not interested in knowing about people too much stuff. If they're my friend, yes. But if they're just like a person that's going to pass through my life, and this is something I said to someone in a yoga center who was very lost. Remember, it's like a TV show. You're the main star of the show. The other ones are just minor characters. You are the star of your show. Don't let anyone upstage you. Don't let anyone make you feel certain stage at the time. This is your life. You can only live your life trying to get the most satisfaction from it. And if people are not contributing to the show, kick them off the show. You know? You don't need to have people around you that don't make you feel good. Peace, light, love.